Hello everyone, my name is Shakila Nuza Qisthi from Bandung Institute of Technology, Indonesia. Here I would like to present about the interrelationship between financial knowledge, financial behavior, and financial attitude of undergraduate students in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. Here is the table of contents of today's presentation, starting with an introduction and will end with a conclusion. Here is the first part of today's presentation, which is the introduction. In today's society, a person's capacity to handle his own finances has become a critical concern. People not only pay attention to their financial situation for the time being, but also pay attention to the long-term financial situation. This, of course, must be complemented by good financial literacy. People who are more financially literate are more self-assured in making personal financial decisions, and their financial outcomes are reasonable, rather than those with less financial knowledge. According to the Indonesian financial authorities, or what we know as OJK, financial literacy is a set of procedures or activities that aim at improving someone's knowledge, confidence, and abilities so that they can better manage their finances. It has three components, which are financial knowledge, financial attitude, and financial behavior, which will be discussed in this research. Financial knowledge is the knowledge possessed by someone about financial aspects, for example, about financial risk, investment, emergency fund, and insurance. Financial attitude is the way someone thinks and behaves about money, while financial behavior is a person's behavior toward financial decision making and money management. The researcher focuses to study the financial literacy of undergraduate students in Padang because being an undergraduate student means that being in a transitional time to step away from parental control and will manage their own personal finances after they get paid. This is the result of the OJK's periodic survey from 2013 until 2019. OJK usually conducts financial literacy surveys once in 3 years, and the last one was in 2019. It can be seen from this slide that the result of the OJK survey regarding Indonesian financial literacy have increased from year to year. However, this index is still very low because the rate was still below 60%. According to Chan and Volpe, the financial literacy rate below 60% considered to be low. If we look at the highest index, which was in 2019, it means that only about 103 million over 273 million Indonesians are financially literate, not half of the populations. This is the financial literacy index of all of the provinces in Indonesia in 2016. The rate of West Sumatra province was only 27.27%, lower than Aceh, North Sumatra, and Riau. But there is an increase on the 2019 index. The index of West Sumatra province increased 7.28% to 34.55%. Although there is some increase on the index, if sorted from the province with the highest index to the lowest, the West Sumatra province is in the 27th position out of 34 provinces. It means that the West Sumatra province is categorized as the lowest stand. Thus, this becomes the concern of the researcher. As Padang is the capital city of West Sumatra, it also acts as an information city where most of the information first gets entered to a region and where the information turnover is relatively high. Researchers also want to see if this also applies to finance-related things. Here is the research questions and objectives of this research. We move to the next chapter about the theoretical framework. From several researches that has been read by the researcher, it generates 5 hypotheses for this research. The first hypothesis is there is a significant relationship between the demographic variables and financial knowledge. The demographic variables used in this research are gender, age, university, college level, and monthly income. The second hypothesis is there is a positive relationship between financial knowledge and financial attitude. The third hypothesis is there is a positive relationship between financial attitude and financial behavior. The fourth hypothesis is there is a positive relationship between financial knowledge and financial behavior. And the last is financial attitude as a mediating variable between financial knowledge and financial behavior. The third chapter is research methodology. On this research, the researcher used primary and secondary data. The primary data are collected using questionnaires using non-probability sampling with proposed sampling type with minimum 385 respondents. For the secondary data, the researcher used several articles, journals, books, and news to collect the data. For the data analysis, the researcher used descriptive analysis using SPSS software and structural equation modeling methods using SmartPLS 3.0. Next, we move to the core of this presentation, which is the research result. On this research, there are 414 undergraduate students in Padang who contribute by fulfilling the questionnaire. Here is the respondents' overview of this research. Most of the respondents are aged between 20 until 22 years old, and about 75% of them are female. Most of the respondents are from Andalas University, and the least came from Dharma Andalas University. Most of them are currently in semester 3 and 4 and semester 7 and 8. Most of them earn below 1 million rupiah per month. Only a few earn above 4 million rupiah. About half of the respondents say that there is a major on their university that teaches about financial education, and 86.7% of them said that they have learned about financial education before. When they asked about the source of their financial education, they said that mostly they learn from social media such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and so on. Based on the calculations from the financial knowledge rate, overall the financial literacy rate is 47.57%. According to Chan and Volpe, this rate is considered to be low because it's still below 60%, so that the financial literacy of students in Padang still really needs to be improved. To see the interrelationship between variables, the researcher used the SAM analysis method. In this method, there are two testing steps, which are the outer and inner modal test. The results of the outer modal test could be seen in this slide. All of the testing model are meet the requirements so that it can proceed to the next step. The inner modal test used to see the relationships and testing the hypothesis. The result is the only accepted hypotheses are hypothesis 3 and 4. Based on the R-square value, the relationship between the variables also very small. Based on the data analysis using the SAM method, there are no demographic variables that have an effect on the financial knowledge variable. One of the factors causing this is the advances in information technology today. Every student from all of the universities, the younger or the elder one, men or women, the first year student or the final year students, both have the same chance and capacity to search the information about personal finances. This is proven by 341 respondents say that they learned about financial aspects from social media, not from the lecturer or from their family. The only variables that has a significant relationship is the financial knowledge variable with financial behavior, and financial attitude with financial behavior also. This means that the more knowledge a person has about financial aspects and the higher someone's attitude about money, the better his financial behavior will be. This research found that most of the respondents are agree with the statement that money is the symbol of success, and they do have a good knowledge about investing, especially stocks. Therefore, this attitude and knowledge leads them to have a belief that investing for the future will be paid off richly, and they also started to put money aside for themselves and their family to be wealthy in the future. Here is the last part of today's presentation, the conclusion. This research generated three conclusions. First, the financial knowledge rate of undergraduate students in Padang is 47.57%. Second, there is no demographic variables that affect the financial knowledge of the undergraduate students. Third, only financial knowledge and financial attitude has an effect on financial behavior, while financial attitudes could not mediate the relationship between those two. And these are a few recommendations from the researcher to the related parties. For the students, it is recommended for them to learn more about the personal finances and implement their knowledge. For the universities or other educational institutions, it is recommended to incorporate the personal financial planning or financial knowledge course into the curriculum. And for the further researcher, the researcher suggested to adding some other variables and the number of the samples to make it more clear and concise of the results. And we just arrived at the last slides of today's presentation. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. If you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer. Please email me at shakila_nuza@sbm-itb.ac.id. Thank you. Have a nice day.